Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy the Mana Shark here, and today we're going to be playing some red deck wins on Magic Arena. And we're going to start off really quick, just go through the list, talk about some cards. For Fanatical Firebrands, 4 G2 Lava Runners, 4 Shock, 4 Runaway Steamkin, 4 Via Shadow Pyromancer, 4 Lightning Strike, 4 Goblin Chain Whirler, 4 Light Up the Stage, 2 Wizard's Lightning, 4 Experimental Frenzy, 2 Chandra, 20 Mountains. What a simple deck. What's really important about this build of red deck wins compared to a lot of other builds is this is actually really well built against more controlling and mid-range metas, right? When you have Experimental Frenzy 4 in the main deck and 2 Chandra, we're able to just play off the top of our deck really, really well and take on these much grindier games that normally red deck wins wouldn't be able to take on until sideboarding. So essentially, it's almost like a pre-sideboard version of a very normal red deck wins deck. For those who haven't experienced what is the craziness of red deck wins right now in the meta, it actually has not gotten any new things aside from Chandra compared to Control, which now has everything, literally everything at its disposal. So this is just like a current version that kind of preys on Control, not playing as many Mortifies and gravitating towards a more Planeswalker-oriented build. So, very straightforward. Light Up the Stage, adding a lot of explosive activity to it as well. I would say basically up until these 6 cards, this is like a fairly stock list here. And then in our sideboard, we have 2 Direfleet Daredevils for the mid-range and sometimes Control matchups. 4 Lava Coils for some tricky creatures that we have to get rid of. Fight with Fire is good against Control. It's good against Lyras. Fantastic card. 3 Legion War Boss. Fantastic one-man army sort of card against Control. Not quite Goblin Rabblemaster level, but certainly a powerhouse all within one card. 3 Tibalt. Tibalt is really good against a lot of these Control decks. It's a slower play, but essentially produces 2/2/2s at least out of it with one creature, and I guess that's like not a direct thing, but it'll help you take on a longer game. Actually, stopping your opponents from incidental life gain is pretty nice when they have really no way to deal with it. And funny enough, if Lyra, say a Lyra attacks and kills Tibalt, that turn they won't gain any life, which I actually won a game earlier today like that. And Rekindling Phoenix, classic recursive threat that a lot of decks really struggle to deal with. We're just gonna figure out how to play this red deck a little bit more. I played a few games with it, and we're just gonna jam some and talk it out, see what it's all about. This aggressive red strategy that was on the top of the world, to be real, and it's fallen a lot, but still very much a strong deck. Currently, I guess it's pretty much you have to figure out what the Control decks are doing and build around that. That's the format. So our opponent clearly paid a lot of money to play this game. Maybe they're out in Grixis and they're huge fanboys. I don't know. But our hand's decent. Turn 1 G2 into turn 2 Runaway Steamkin. It's the thing with red is it's all about building an aggregate amount of burn and creatures. Creatures are your best source of burn because they are, I could burn you for 3, right? Or I could shock you on turn 1 for, and deal 2. But if I drop a G2 Lavamancer, it takes 2 attacks and I just shocked you for free. So that's really what it's all about. There's a lot of theory behind burns, even though it's not a really hard deck to play. Every single choice is actually really important. So here we're facing a Control deck. We could just go for it and gun it and hope to get there. We would have to deal with some incoming answers, right? He might be main decking Cry of the Carnarium, and if that's the case, Steamkin we want to get to 3. So I'm down to just dump in and go for it. Considering I don't think Grixis really plays Carnarium that early. we'll get in the Firebrand as well to get Steamkin #1 at 3. And we'll get in for, some nice damage, putting our opponent down to 5. Dealing 5 to our opponent. I'm tired. But yeah, if he has Cry of the Carnarium, that's a 3-for-1. Okay, Bedevil. So he's still facing 4 damage on board. We have 9 damage on hand. Holy smacks. And wait, is that lethal? No, we don't have enough mana. Wait, do we? Yeah, so 6. We've played 2 Wizard's Lightnings. That's 6. Or sorry, Lightning Strike Wizard's Lightning. That's 6. 7. We have 2 instant sorceries. 8, 9. Wow. That is lethal. Sounds good. So we'll dome our opponent for some damage. And yeah, look at this nice, very legit early kill. And we did it, man. What was that, turn 3? Turn 4? I don't know. Yeah, turn 4, we're on the play. So going into game 2, I think we have to consider, bringing in Warboss, Tybalt, Phoenix, and just become like this mid-range deck. Grixis is a little tricky. I'm trying to find my sideboard notes. I put it away somewhere. Crud. Where is it? I had it open. Oh, here we go. Okay. It is right here. All right, so what we have, do we have Grixis in here? No. Well, it's time to figure out. Against Esper, we do something normally where we're very much just boarding into this mid-range deck. We board out our Shocks, our Wizard's Lightnings, and Chain Whirlers. And we keep in some Chain Whirlers. We board out some Lightning Strikes, and yeah, this is what it looks like, more of a mono red mid-range deck. Maybe less happy to cast the Experimental Frenzy super early, but some really just great later game threats. Knowing that our opponent will have Cry of Carnarium and all these other cards that slow down our entire game plan here, we're ready to take it on. This is a 1-lander with only 1 turn 1 play, 3 Steamkins. If we get our second land, there's a potential to really stockpile and go bananas, but I don't really think that's too possible. I'm inclined to mulligan this hand here. And this hand is slightly better if we get an early light up the stage, which usually we wouldn't be as happy to do early if we have more expensive things in our deck going on. But if we're not hitting our lands, this is an option. And we're going to be able to get in the Firebrand most likely. We're going to scry the bottom because we're just trying to hit a land. And yeah, if we get to 4 lands, chances are we'll be able to really, catch up with Experimental Frenzy and Chandra. If our opponent takes light up the stage, though, then that actually, I don't know, depending on what he's got, if he has a Bolas or something and he can apply quick pressure, he should definitely take the light up the stage and just stop me in my tracks right now. Okay, he takes the Fanatical Firebrand. So we're not going to play our Mountain first. We want to swing in for 1 and then light up the stage. The reason why is if we hit a Mountain off light of the stage, we're going to want to be able to play it. And yeah, Viashano Pyromancer is a decent pickup. You actually, he does hit Planeswalkers, speaking of which, and that's a mode to not forget about. Yes, it's always nice to dome our opponent, but there are a lot of opportunities we can take to You know, like we basically cut off a card right now by slashing Narset, which is worth it because, you know, our opponent's at a very high life total still. So I think there's no benefit to really finishing off Narset unless he's got like some Elder Spell shenanigans or for a later Bolas. It's later Bolas, do we care as much? Nah. Do we have any draw effects in here? I don't think so. Like, I'm inclined to say we could probably just leave Narset chillin'. Because if Bolas comes down, he's going to probably just... he is probably just going to, like, kill a dude. I was referring to, sorry, the Planeswalker Bolas, not this Bolas. So yeah, we're going to ditch a mountain here. And, alright, so we can fight with fire his Bolas and get in for 3. That seems fine. We could, like, develop the Steamkin and play it slow, but we gotta take commanding lead of the board. Now we have 2 power on the Key 2 Lavamancer, and we're golden. Once we hit our 4th land, we are back in business. Ooh, another Bolas. We'll discard the Steamkin. It doesn't really do much in states like these. When you have a frenzy going, sure, you can do some really gross things with Steamkin. So yeah, we're just gonna drop the Fanatical Firebrand, and we can't really make a profitable attack. Like, he is at 10, but it's not worth suiciding a guy quite yet. I think we could bring him to 7 after suiciding a creature in. Yeah, maybe we should have brought some lava coils in. You know, it is worth because it's a big Bolas. I think it is actually worth suiciding in a creature. We'll get in 3 points of damage here. Especially because he probably does have some sideboard wipes ready for us. Yep. Okay, happy I came in for some suicide damage. He missed out on 2 damage. If he attacked first, he would have had 4 damage to smack us. And let's punish him and make him feel bad for that choice. But for now, we're just gonna eat. Oh wait, okay. He's not gonna attack at all. So yeah, we just drop Firebrands and sit there. And yeah, if we just gotta hit our 4th land, and then we're back in business. Disinformation campaign. I'd rather lose the Chandra because Chandra could be attacked by a Bolas, whereas Experimental Frenzy, if it resolves, like, Grixis literally has no way to interact with it other than if he's playing like Ugin. So chomp me up. Nope. Actually, does flip Bolas destroy permanents? No. Okay. Whatever. So we'll drop Tibble just to create a 1/1 basically. He's gonna die from Bolas, and that's okay. Oh, actually, we probably should have sandbagged the Tibble to ditch. But then you need another Surveil. So yeah, I guess it's fine that we. Okay, I think it was still okay to play the Tibble. We're gonna pitch to Disinformation campaign, which, you know, not in draft was miserable to play against. Like, that card, when it's working, is the worst feeling in the world. Of course, we hit our 4th land. It's never worth sandbagging lands in red, because there are turns where if you have Experimental Frenzy, you can play like 10 spells and just vomit your deck. So if our opponent goes Bolas, flips it, I think at that point we give up and just go face. Like, face is the place. Because we have, you know, such low damage. It honestly might be better for us if he flips it. Just because, like, the creature's out of the way and that's his entire turn. He does draw 2, which is, of course, scary. Or you can blow up a creature. Oh, you could put a creature, a planeswalker. Oops. All right, well, we're not quite out of it, but yeah, we're certainly with our backs against the wall here. Okay. I think I'm still satisfied with my Tibalt play. Yeah, this is the really scary Bolas. Okay. So should we bring in lava coils just for nickel Bolas? Like they can only hit Bolas? Yeah, if we still have like experimental frenzy, we could just like catch a win within like 2 turns. So that's just what we gotta do. It is sad that this is like how it's going, and that's the thing with red is like sometimes you literally just have to sit there and watch because there's an off chance that you could just win, whether it's with a crazy card like Experimental Frenzy or a card that's just like just top decking a shock, and either it's like your opponent's at 2 life and you have literally nothing and you shock them, or you just sit there and get mauled on. And sometimes you hit that shock and it's super exciting, and other times you just feel helpless. So yeah, what do we bring in for lava coils? We just take out lightning strikes. Yeah, that seems fun. And he's like not attacking me. If he has a lot of counters in hand, if I can't resolve the frenzy. Alright, so we're gonna have to sacrifice it and shoot our opponent to make it an invalid target. Sounds good. Because if it's an invalid target, he doesn't gain the life, and that's... Yeah. Also, you know, it's dying anyway. Alright, opponent's gonna mash us for 4. Come on, Frenzy, man. Narset. Okay. I also Chandra, I think. No, Chandra could put him at 1. But it would still be a fine draw. Yeah, he's the devil. Alright. So we drop Steamkin. See what millions of spells our opponent has for it. Ooh, Craving. Either way, if we had Experimental Frenzy, we'd have to probably vomit our whole deck, so he would end up with a target for Craving if it went our way. So that's okay. Alright, Bolas, Ultimate's at 12. Good to know. But yeah, we're not winning this game, but we're not losing quite yet either. Alright, dude. Just pass turn. Let's rip Frenzy and make him cry. No? Okay, light up the stage. Maybe we'll rip something. Nope. Okay, that's game. For opponents playing negates and... Yeah. Alright, so game 3. Lava coils can come... Cut a lightning strike for a lava coil. And... Maybe because he can attack the Tibalt. Let's cut the Tibalts actually, and just go 4 lava coils. Tibalt is probably better just against Esper, but this is more of like a mid-range deck. Sometimes they even bring in the 1/1 haste that when it hits a player it grows, and when it dies deals damage to stuff. So like this is an answer to that as well. If he brings in that little surprise. Yeah, I think we're happy with this deck. We just have to run it right back. Generally, what the thing you deal with the most with red deck wins is that game 1, you have the advantage. Your opponent is not going to be able to keep up with what you're doing. But games 2 and 3 are a lot harder once our opponents, actually have spells that could react with what we're doing properly. So we are at the disadvantage. So this hand is unkeepable, sadly. Even though it's got some sweet stuff, we literally don't have a play, and even if this was like a 1-drop, I would still have to, probably ship it. But yeah, this is just unplayable. And this hand is a little bit better. We're going to keep it and light up the stage up the top. It's long-term fuel. It's not a quick start, per se, but we're going to keep it because we're playing a weird game right now. We're playing a red mid-range deck. If our opponent plays a turn 4 Bolas, it's still 2 for 1 to us, even if we lava coil it. Okay, we can light up the stage now. But we kind of might just want to play Frenzy next turn anyway. So that's a little tricky, actually. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I think we want to play Frenzy or Phoenix next turn anyway, so I think light up the stage right now is not a good idea. I think we're going to land the Frenzy because that's something he has a lot more difficulties to interact with. And once it's on the table, that's it. I don't think he really has ways to deal with it. Alright, he's got Cry of Carnarium and Bolas, so we could discard a card. Our hand doesn't quite matter until we get to a point where we want it to matter. So yeah, we'll coil the Bolas. Now we're just playing off the top of our deck. We literally can't play cards from our hand. And, Legion Warboss. So let's... we could finish off Narset, I think. He's going to play Cry of Carnarium, most likely. But yeah, I'm down to just knock Narset off the table here. Because I think with not a ton of pressure, bossing using Narset can be okay. So we get Chain Whirler, ping our opponents, and Steamkin. And a Mountain, sweet. Okay, so yeah, we actually kind of want to just hit our land drops. Obviously, we want to hit perfectly, just hitting the one off the top each turn. But as we build more land drops, we can do more insane plays every turn. And our opponent, we have 6 cards in hand that don't really matter, and our opponent has 4. And we're just ripping off the top of our deck, playing a couple of spells a turn. It's very hard for our opponent to keep up with what we're doing. It's got the Moment of Craving to stop. If Steam kept going, he could literally just vomit the entire deck. There's some really nasty clips out there. Ooh, Legion Warboss. Okay. Ritual of Soot. Okay, no problem. And Direfleet Daredevil we can just remove a spell from the graveyard, basically. It doesn't really matter what we get. So yeah, we're not going to actually play it. Alright, Bedeck, no problem. And yeah, we're going to play Legion Warboss off the top. Oh boy, make a dude. Now we ping him for 1. Our opponent's down to 1 card. We got to light up the stage. And, we have a second light up the stage up off the top of our deck. So, we can play that. Should we? Yeah, let's play it. And we got a Mountain, E2 Lava Runner. The Chandra we get off of it is really just there as an extra experimental frenzy. Sometimes it could keep the chain going, but once you have a frenzy out, it really doesn't matter. So we're going to exile cards from our hand because we frankly couldn't care. Our hand is basically invisible, and we'd want to play the card off the top, the mountain off the top of our deck instead of the frenzy one, because we want access to our new stuff. So, so Pyromancer might be there for after we attack, but the thing is, we could easily hit some hasty dudes, so we do want to play it now for said hasty dude that we're about to draw. Okay, now we're going to play this Chandra because it's on top of our deck. And now we have a Frenzy on top. So if we plus Chandra, we can actually just get it out of the way for a Steamkin, which is pretty sweet. Sorry about that. Just an alarm to check on the oven a bit. And now we're going to move to combat. Declare attackers. Here's something I found really annoying. I can't do all attack and have all my guys attack like normal. It's like you have to resolve this attacker first, which I just find very irritating. So how do I want to arrange my attackers? I'm just going to like click them all in and then maybe switch them around a little bit. So we can send... Let's see. We want to help evade one kill spell. Oh, I do want to make sure this boss is dead. That being said, I think it's okay if he defends it a little bit. So if we send 4 damage at it, I think that's okay. And we'll put a counter. Actually, 4 damage, 3 damage. Either way, he'll save it. It just has to take something, so it can't minus anymore. And yeah, we'll stick it on the goblin that's going to his face. And blammo, our opponent's at 14. Only 3 cards in hand. We have a stacked board. Like I don't see us losing. We can. It's certainly within the cards, but like the fact that we could just look at a Bolas and be like, yeah, I don't really care. We actually have to worry a little bit about our deck size, but all right. So we can ditch the frenzy probably on the off chance that we blow up our frenzy to play cards in our hand. But now let's ditch the mountain. We're about to draw a mountain. Okay, so drop a mountain. All right, so now we're at that point where we have a mountain on top. We could blow up our frenzy, lava coil. I kind of like that. But let's plus Chandra because we're going to do that anyway. Okay, yeah, we have nothing on top that we can play. So yeah, let's blow up our frenzy. And get this Bolas out of the way. So what's our opponent has at 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 damage that can hit our opponent. If we drop Phoenix, it pumps up our Steamkin and makes it so that he can't just have like a willy-nilly Wrath effect that could actually deal with everything. I'd rather just play that than the Frenzy. We could play a Frenzy next turn. So yeah, let's do that. And look at that. Our opponent is at 5. He can't have just a board wipe. He has to have more than that. We'll ditch a mountain because we're about to draw one anyway. But yeah, look at that. A red deck that hits 10 land drops and has no problem with it. And yeah, so that's mono red. Quick, let's open a pack while we talk about it. It's a deck that, it's very much it is the anti-control deck. The fact is, control has so many tools solid in this format. And there's Esper Hero, Esper Control, Blue-Black Control. You could play Mortify, or you could play just a ton of Planeswalkers. You could play 3 or 4 Narsets. You can stick more with spells. You can play creatures. Like, there's so many builds to control, and the fact is, like, even though red doesn't have that much maneuvering, red will win game 1 against control, and it does have the ability to keep up with control. And if they don't have Mortify, or if they don't have Vraska's Content, you have 2 cards that really leverage the typical builds currently that don't really play too many of either, and you have the ability to really take advantage of that. That can easily change, right? This meta all of a sudden can go completely towards a different direction. But red is currently right now a great way to keep control in check after this huge appearance at the Mythic Championship, and it's also a great contender against the blue-green Nexus of Fate. That deck sucks against this one. So like this is right now actually just a great deck to just grind Magic Arena. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're trying out this deck, and if you like, what do you think? Do you think main deck rocking Experimental Frenzy and Chandra is the way to go? Should we be sideboarding into this red mid-range build? And have you tried out Tibalt, man? Like, I'm curious. I had some pretty interesting and good experiences with him. So drop a like if you enjoyed. And this is the Mana Shark. Peace out.